Once again, the system fails to do its job.
This Windsor landlord has spent months fighting to evict his tenants, who he says haven't paid rent in 16 months. But just days before they were going to be forced to leave, the tenants were able to pause their eviction. That has landlord Michael Portman feeling hopeless.
I couldn't even feel angry. I was just numb.
The tenants owe more than $28,000 in rent. And even though the landlord and tenant board said that they had to leave the property by the end of October if they didn't pay up, they're still there. That's because they filed a stay, which stalls the process. CBC News tried to get in touch with the tenants. One of them said that they didn't want to comment.
This is not something that needs to be disputed. These people have not paid their rent in 16 months.
And yet, he's still waiting to evict them. He says that this is all a failure of the landlord and tenant board.
We've really noticed the improvement since January.
Windsor-Tecumseh MPP Andrew Dowie says that the provincial government has invested money into the landlord and tenant board, which has seen positive changes this year. In an email, the board said that it has reduced the processing time for all applications, specifically ones for non-payment of rent. In 2023, the average was 8 to 10 months. Now they're getting heard in 3 months. The board is also scheduling more hearings than ever and issuing orders 30 days after a hearing.
From our client's perspective, we're not seeing those efficiencies and improvements.
A supervising lawyer at the University of Windsor's Community Legal Aid says they mostly do tenant cases. She says housing disputes are complicated.
We should look at the root cause of why is it that someone can't pay their rent. If they have subsidized housing or if they have subsidized income, discussions could be had with their caseworkers, their ODSP or OW caseworkers. If there's issues with the property itself, discussions could be had with the city and bylaw enforcement.
As for Portman, he's waiting for a hearing to determine whether the tribunal will review the eviction. Should that request be granted, there will be another hearing where both the tenants and the landlord can present their cases once again.
I never want to have anything to do with this ever again, because the law that I had faith in to look out for me has utterly failed me.
Without a date for the next hearing, Portman is prepared for this to carry into next year. Jennifer LaGrassa, CBC News, Windsor.